6:51, your top stories in today's Sunrise Smart Start for Tuesday. The Buffalo Bills had a chance to pick up some early ground ahead of their AFC rivals, the Chiefs and the Bengals, who started off with losses on the new season. But that didn't happen as the Bills lost as well. The night started with Aaron Rodgers, his first game for the Jets, going down on the first offensive series after a sack from Leonard Floyd. Head coach Robert Saleh fears the worst, that Rodgers could be done for the season. The team is focused on his Achilles, who will have an MRI today. The Bills had a 13-3 lead at the half, and then an abysmal second half on the offense, especially with Josh Allen, all the turnovers, 3 of them in the second half. Eventually to overtime, Bills had the ball first, couldn't do anything. They punted away, and Xavier Gibson for New York takes this one all the way back for the touchdown, the walk-off. The Jets win 22-16. A lot of criticism of Allen, and maybe the biggest critic himself.
Yeah, I mean, I hurt our team tonight. I cost our team tonight. And it feels eerily similar to last year, and I hate that it's the same. I do. Our guys played so hard. Defense gave us opportunities. They played a heck of a game, and it sucks when you feel like you're the reason, and I am the reason why we lost tonight.
Brutal. Just have to forget it. The Bills have a short week on the turnaround as they come back home to Orchard Park to host the Raiders. That game you can see Sunday at 1 o'clock on News 8. Your home for the Bills. Can they get back to 1-1? Sunrise traffic 6:52. We've been good all morning. Same goes for right now as we look at the expressways. The view there of the west side. See some clouds. We're going to have some rain, maybe some storms later. We will time that out coming up in just a little bit with meteorologist Liam Healy. In other news happening today, a former police chief from Irondequoit is scheduled for a plea hearing. This is in federal court. The court docket shows Alan Laird, who retired as chief in November from IPD, is set to appear at 12:30. While yes, a plea is scheduled, the records online still do not show what exactly this is for when it comes to any specific charges. Just recently, though, Laird's business partner with a security company, Steve Rosenbaum, pleaded guilty to tax fraud. This is tied to an IRS investigation. Federal prosecutors have never said publicly whether Laird was the business partner accused of committing the tax crimes, but in Rosenbaum's plea, the other person is identified with the initials AL. Looking ahead to Monday, that is when the trial begins for Kelvin Vickers, the man accused of murdering RPD officer Anthony Mazurkowitz and wounding his partner Sino Singh during an ambush last summer. A 15-year-old girl was also struck by a stray bullet when it happened that night. In addition to that attack, Vickers is also a suspect in a deadly triple shooting in the city just hours before the ambush. He's facing all of his charges in one trial again beginning Monday. 2 other suspects in the triple shooting case, they will be tried separately. The rise in car thefts is actually turning around, dropping in parts of our area, including Brighton. In June, we reported some agencies started to focus on using expedited appearance tickets as a way to have these suspects and repeat offenders be held accountable. With the increased use of that tactic by local law enforcement, these defendants are required to go back to court the next day. While police say accountability is a priority, they also say the trouble is this behavior of offenders has somewhat become accepted.
I think we've normalized this behavior so much over the last few years that it's difficult. It's really difficult to tell. I would think that there's less opportunity, especially if these kids are being held accountable, on the probation and the family court end, and hopefully at home. I mean, that's the whole goal.
In June, Brighton PD saw suspects released from the county juvenile detention center over capacity issues. Back then, a spokesperson for the county said capacity was not the problem and the suspects were being relocated around the state. We reached out to the county for another update on this. Have yet to get a response. Nurses at Rochester General Hospital were scheduled to get back to the bargaining table yesterday with hospital leaders. The nurses went on strike for a couple of days this summer, pressing for better working conditions and pay. They also say the staff-to-patient ratio is unsustainable. No word yet on the results of the latest talks. The conversations have been ongoing since last fall. Another meeting is scheduled for the 21st. A final look now at your weather headlines with meteorologist Liam Healy. Not the rain yet, but that'll be coming.
It's on its way, and this is kind of the hot and fast of it as you get into the daytime today. Rain arrives, I think, anytime after noon. We just have to start keeping an eye to the sky. Heaviest rain likely to maybe nearer to that evening commute, and then we'll see it stick around through, I think, early tomorrow morning. We'll see some showers, at least around the area. And then your 8-day forecast. We continue to track a couple more chances for some cooler weather here over the next couple of days. Behind that front today, 60s to get into the next few days, 50s and 40s for lows. And then a nice little rebound by the weekend. We'll have a dry one, which will be the first time in at least, I think, a couple of weeks we can fully say that.
Yeah, I know, especially if you're trying to go for 2 days there, Saturday, Sunday. Hope that holds. We will take another look at your forecast and local news coming up at 7:25. CBS Mornings coming your way next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.